today I have the Home Secretary, Priti Patel, to answer some of your questions. So thank you very much, Home Secretary, for joining me this evening to answer our questions in Derbyshire. I have a first question for you, and it's Mr. Adrian Rolls in Old Brampton, North East Derbyshire. He wants to know why should residents of Derbyshire trust the Conservatives to tackle crime?
Well, Angelique, thank you so much for this opportunity to answer local questions from your residents and constituents. And of course, it's only the Conservative Party that backs the police and is the party of law and order. And we believe in protecting our country, protecting our citizens, and also protecting our communities. And that is why, when you look at all the work that I am leading on as Home Secretary, we're investing more in policing than ever before. We are recruiting 20,000 new police officers, and so far we've recruited over 6,680 police officers, and there is more to come. But alongside that, we want to absolutely ensure that all our communities and our streets are protected. And as a Conservative Home Secretary that believes in law and order, believes and backs our police, I also need a Conservative Police and Crime Commissioner in Derbyshire to work with, which is why I implore you all and urge you all to get behind Angelique and support her in these elections.
Thank you, Priti. And if I am elected on the 6th of May, I will make sure we get our share of those extra police officers in Derbyshire. And like you say, we are the party of law and order. We are the party that will keep the public safe in Derbyshire. The next question is from Mrs. Flavel in High Peak. And in recent months, there has been an outpouring of concerns about the safety of women. What will you do to make the streets safer for women and girls in particular?
Well, thank you for the question. And of course, rightly so, we have seen an outpouring of grief after one of the most appalling cases that's been in the news. But there is some really good, strong, positive work when it comes to standing up and protecting women and girls. First of all, we've got the Domestic Abuse Bill, which is just about to finish its passage through Parliament, which will receive royal assent very shortly. And of course, yes, that covers the core elements of domestic abuse, but actually it covers much more in terms of protections for women and girls against violence, sexual harassment, sexual abuse, stalking, all these corrosive elements that sadly too many women are still subject to. And within that, of course, there are areas such as online harm, such as revenge porn. But alongside that bill, we also have the VORG strategy, the strategy that I am leading for the first time on violence against women and girls. We've just had an enormous public consultation where over 180,000 people responded to that consultation. And that's going to drive our strategy going forward. It's going to drive new legislation. It's going to bring about the change that we all want to see to protect women and girls. And then finally, just on this point, when it comes to the safety of all citizens on the streets in our communities, we are recruiting 20,000 police officers. We've got over 6,000 more police officers. They're already out there on the beat, day in, day out. We're seeing neighbourhood and community policing returning. And of course, that is one of the biggest measures when it comes to public safety and public confidence when it comes to law and order.
Thank you very much, Home Secretary. We have another question. Alan in Derby. He's concerned about violent crime in Derby City. And in particular, his local area, Darley, is now the third highest out of the 17 wards in Derby City for crime rates. His question is, Derby City has seen a rise in violent crime in recent years. What will you do to tackle this?
Well, there is a lot of work taking place. So let me first of all give that reassurance. Violent crime, of course, is linked to other aspects of crime and criminality, and more often than not, organised crime, such as drug crime and county line drugs. So we've had over the last 12 months an incredible set of policing operations and initiatives to do what I describe as rolling up county line drugs. And this has been led by the Prime Minister, who has given such strong leadership to this issue. We've seen over 600 lines rolled up around the country. We have seen thousands of people safeguarded, including children, vulnerable people that have been preyed upon to carry drugs, for example, or have been cuckooed in some of the most appalling ways. So this is all part of tackling violent crime, along with doing much more in terms of giving policing the resources that they need, giving police the powers that they need to zap crime, go out there and deal with crime directly on the street, backing the police with stop and search. Violent crime involves knives, it involves weaponry, it involves firearms. We have big law enforcement operations taking place. We all saw the impact of a big operation last year, Operation Venetic, which was the largest ever law enforcement operation across the country, where drugs were taken off the street, weapons were taken off the streets, guns were taken off the streets, along with a lot of money as well, illicit cash and dirty money as well that had been laundered into the United Kingdom. So because we are back in the police and because we are resourcing law enforcement in an unprecedented way, we're able to go out there and absolutely deal with this at source. And we're just getting started. Even throughout this pandemic, we've been able to go out there and go after the criminals, and we've got a lot more to do on this front.
Thank you. I do agree with you that we need to make sure that we support and encourage the police to use the stop and search. And as the Conservative Police and Crime Commissioner in Derbyshire, I will be making sure that I promote stop and search. And as you know, Labour are not supporting stop and search, but it's about giving the tools to police to tackle violent crime. And I think last year alone, we've seen 11,000 weapons, dangerous weapons, taken off the streets via the stop and search. So I think it's a good, vital tool for police officers. And in Derbyshire, I will be promoting stop and search. Home Secretary, thank you for taking the time to answer these questions. So I'm asking voters to vote for me, Angelique Foster, on the 6th of May, and to keep people of Derbyshire safe.
Angelique, thank you, and my best wishes to you. And I maintain and reiterate the point, I need a strong Conservative Police and Crime Commissioner to help us to deliver on this mission to get crime down, reduce violence, and effectively get on top of some of the issues that we've been discussing today. So best wishes and my thanks to you.
Thank you.